The Honest Little Hedgehog. Once upon a time, in a beautiful forest filled with tall trees and colorful flowers, there lived a little hedgehog named Hari. Hari was known for his honesty and kindness. He always told the truth and helped his friends whenever they needed him. His best friends were a rabbit named Ravi, a squirrel named Simi, and a wise old owl named Ajas. Every year, the forest animals held a grand festival to celebrate the changing seasons. There were games, races, and a big feast with lots of delicious food. This year, there was a special contest to find the most honest animal in the forest. The winner would receive a shiny golden acorn as a prize. Hari was very excited about the festival. He loved participating in the games and spending time with his friends. When he heard about the honesty contest, he decided to enter, even though he didn't think he would win. He just wanted to have fun and do his best. A few days before the festival, something terrible happened. The rabbit Ravi lost his mother's precious necklace. It was a beautiful necklace made of shiny pearls, and it was very special to Ravi's mother. She had given it to Ravi to wear at the festival, and now it was gone. Ravi was very upset. "What will I do, Hari?" he cried. "My mother will be so sad." Hari hugged his friend and said, "Don't worry, Ravi. We'll find it. Let's look everywhere we can think of." Hari, Ravi, and Simi searched all over the forest. They looked under rocks, in bushes, and even in the trees. They asked all their friends if they had seen the necklace, but no one had. Finally, they decided to ask Ajas, the wise old owl. Ajas lived in a big tree at the edge of the forest. He was very wise and always knew what to do. Ajas listened carefully to their story. He said thoughtfully. "I think you should retrace your steps, Ravi. Think about where you were and what you did before you noticed the necklace was missing." Ravi thought hard. "I remember playing near the big oak tree," he said. "I was showing the necklace to my friends, and then we played hide and seek." Hari, Ravi, Simi, and Ajas went to the big oak tree. They searched carefully around it, looking for any sign of the necklace. Suddenly, Simi spotted something shiny in the grass. "I found it!" she exclaimed, holding up the necklace. It was hidden in the grass. Ravi was overjoyed. "Thank you, Simi. And thank you, Hari and Ajas. I couldn't have found it without you." As they were heading back, Hari noticed something strange. There was another necklace, just like Ravi's, lying on the ground. He picked it up and looked at it closely. It was identical to the one Ravi's mother had given him. "That's odd," Hari said. "Why would there be two necklaces?" Ajas thought for a moment. "It seems someone tried to trick us. This must be the work of someone who wants to cause trouble." The friends decided to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. They didn't want anyone to ruin the festival. The next day, they saw a fox named Firaz acting strangely. Firaz was known for being clever but sometimes a bit sneaky. Hari approached Firaz. "Hello, Firaz. Have you seen anything unusual lately?" Firaz looked nervous. "No, why do you ask?" he said quickly. Hari didn't want to accuse Firaz without proof, so he just said, "We're just trying to make sure everything is safe for the festival." The day of the festival arrived, and the forest was buzzing with excitement. There were colorful decorations, delicious food, and lots of fun games. Everyone was happy and enjoying themselves. The honesty contest was the main event. The animals gathered around the big stage where the wise old owl, Odges, would announce the winner. Odges had watched everyone closely and knew who deserved the golden acorn. Odges stood on the stage and began to speak. "Welcome, everyone, to the Forest Festival. This year, we are honoring the most honest animal in our forest. This animal has shown great integrity and kindness." Hari and his friends listened eagerly. They were excited to see who would win the prize. "The winner of the golden acorn is..." Odges paused for dramatic effect. "Hari, the honest little hedgehog." Hari was surprised and very happy. He walked up to the stage to receive the golden acorn. But as he did, Firas the fox stepped forward. "Wait!" Firas shouted. "I have something to confess." Everyone turned to look at Firas. He looked nervous but determined. "It was me," Firas said. "I took his necklace and made a fake one to confuse everyone. I wanted to cause trouble because I was jealous of how everyone liked Hari." The crowd gasped, but Hari stepped forward and put a paw on Firas' shoulder. "Thank you for telling the truth, Firas. It takes a lot of courage to admit when you've done something wrong." Firas looked relieved. "I'm really sorry, everyone. I was wrong and I won't do it again." Odges nodded wisely. "It's good to see honesty and bravery, Firas. You have learned an important lesson today." The festival continued, and everyone celebrated not just Hari's honesty but also Firas' courage to tell the truth. The animals played games, danced, and enjoyed the feast. Hari held the golden acorn proudly but knew that the real reward was having such wonderful friends and living in a community that valued honesty and kindness. From that day on, the animals of the forest grew even closer. They trusted each other more and helped one another with even greater kindness. Firas worked hard to earn back everyone's trust, and Hari continued to be a shining example of honesty. The forest flourished with happiness and harmony, and every year at the festival, they remembered the lesson of the honest little hedgehog and the importance of always telling the truth. And so, the story of Hari, the honest little hedgehog, was told to every new generation of forest animals, teaching them that honesty, kindness, and forgiveness are the keys to a happy and peaceful life. Few months after the festival, a new animal appeared in the forest. He was a tall and handsome deer named Dev. Dev had traveled from a faraway forest and had many interesting stories to tell. The animals welcomed him warmly, and he quickly became friends with everyone. However, there was something mysterious about Dev. He always seemed to know more than he let on, and he often spoke in riddles. Hari and his friends were curious about him and decided to learn more about their new friend. One day, Dev gathered the animals and announced, "I have a challenge for you all. I will give a special prize to the one who can solve my riddle." The animals were excited and eagerly listened as Dev spoke. "Here is the riddle. I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" The animals thought hard about the riddle. Hari and his friends discussed it among themselves, trying to come up with the answer. After a while, Hari had an idea. "I think I know the answer," he said. "It's a pencil." A pencil is made from graphite, which is taken from a mine, and it's encased in wood. Almost everyone uses a pencil. The animals agreed that Hari's answer made sense. Dev smiled and said, "You are correct, Hari. The answer is a pencil. You have solved the riddle. The animals cheered for Hari, and Dev presented him with a beautiful crystal feather as a prize. The crystal feather was not only beautiful but also magical. It had the power to reveal the truth and bring light to any situation. Hari was amazed by the feather and grateful for Dev's gift. Dev said, "Use this feather wisely, Hari. It will help you and your friends in times of need." One evening, as the sun was setting, Hari noticed a strange shadow moving through the forest. It seemed to be sneaking around, hiding from view. Hari decided to follow the shadow to find out what it was up to. To his surprise, he discovered that it was a wolf named Wiley. Wiley had been causing trouble in the neighboring forest and had come to their forest to steal food and cause mischief. Hari quickly gathered his friends and told them what he had seen. They knew they had to come up with a plan to stop Wiley from causing trouble in their forest. "We need to use the crystal feather," Simi suggested. "It can reveal the truth and help us stop Wiley." Hari agreed and held the crystal feather high. It glowed brightly, illuminating the forest and revealing Wiley's hiding place. Hari and his friends approached Wiley, who was surprised and scared by the sudden light. "What do you want?" Wiley growled. "We know what you're up to, Wiley," Hari said calmly. "You can't cause trouble in our forest. We believe in honesty and kindness here." Wiley looked around nervously. He realized he had been caught and had no choice but to confess. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't mean to cause so much trouble. I was just hungry and lonely." Hari and his friends felt sorry for Wiley. They decided to give him a chance to change and become a better animal. "Why don't you stay with us and be our friend?" Ravi offered. "We can help you find food, and you can be part of our community." Wiley was surprised by their kindness. "Thank you," he said. "I would like that." With Wiley as their new friend, the forest animals worked together to make their home a better place. They shared food, helped each other, and made sure everyone was happy and safe. Hari used the crystal feather to solve problems and bring light to any situation. The forest flourished even more, and the animals were united in their commitment to honesty, kindness, and forgiveness. As the years passed, the story of Hari, the honest little hedgehog, and his magical crystal feather was told to every new generation of forest animals. They learned the importance of honesty, kindness, and working together to create a peaceful and happy community. And so, the legacy of Hari and his friends lived on, reminding everyone that the true magic lies in being honest, kind, and forgiving. One day, Dev the deer announced that he had to continue his journey to other forests to share his wisdom and help more animals. "Will you come back to visit us, Dev?" Hari asked. "Of course," Dev replied with a smile. "I will always be your friend, and I will return to see how you are all doing." As Dev left, the forest animals felt a sense of excitement. They knew that new adventures awaited them and that they could face any challenge together. Hari looked at the crystal feather and felt grateful for the lessons he had learned. He knew that honesty, kindness, and friendship were the keys to a happy life. The following year, the animals decided to add a new event to their annual festival. They called it the Festival of Friendship, celebrating the bonds they had formed and the lessons they had learned. There were games, dances, and a special ceremony where they honored those who had shown great honesty and kindness. Hari and his friends were always remembered and celebrated for their contributions to the forest community. As the forest continued to thrive, new generations of animals were born. They grew up hearing the stories of Hari, the honest little hedgehog, and the magical crystal feather. These young animals were inspired to be honest, kind, and helpful, just like Hari and his friends. The forest remained a place of peace and happiness, where everyone worked together to create a better world. One day, as Hari sat with his friends under the big oak tree, he thought about everything they had been through. He realized that the most important lesson he had learned was that honesty and kindness always lead to good things. No matter what challenges we face, Hari said, we can always overcome them with honesty, kindness, and friendship. His friends nodded in agreement. They knew that as long as they stayed true to these values, their forest would always be a wonderful place to live. And so, the story of Hari, the honest little hedgehog, continued to be told. It was a story of honesty, kindness, and the power of friendship. It was a story that never ended, for it lived in the hearts of all the forest animals, guiding them and inspiring them to be the best they could be. One sunny morning, a stranger arrived in the forest. He was a tall, lanky cat with sleek fur and sharp green eyes. His name was Carlos, and he claimed to be a traveler from a distant land. The animals were curious about him and welcomed him warmly. Carlos was charming and quickly made friends with everyone. However, Hari, the honest little hedgehog, noticed something odd about Carlos. He always seemed to be listening closely to conversations and asking lots of questions. Hari decided to keep an eye on him. A few days after Carlos arrived, food began to disappear from the forest. The animals were worried and confused. They had always shared their food, and nothing like this had ever happened before. Hari gathered his friends, Ravi the rabbit, Simi the squirrel, and Ajaz the wise old owl, to discuss the situation. I think Carlos might be behind this, Hari said. He arrived just before the food started disappearing. We should investigate, Ajaz agreed. But we need to be careful. We don't want to accuse him without proof. Hari and his friends decided to keep a close watch on Carlos. They took turns observing him from a distance, trying to see if he was stealing the food. One night, Hari saw Carlos sneaking around the storage area where the animals kept their food. He watched as Carlos took some fruits and nuts and hid them in a secret spot. The next morning, Hari and his friends confronted Carlos. Carlos, we saw you stealing food, Hari said. Why are you doing this? Carlos looked surprised and then ashamed. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't mean to cause trouble. In my land, food is scarce, and I was afraid I wouldn't have enough to eat. Hari felt sorry for Carlos but knew that stealing was wrong. You should have asked for help, Carlos. We would have gladly shared our food with you. Carlos hung his head. You're right, Hari. I was wrong. Please forgive me. The animals talked it over and decided to forgive Carlos. They shared their food with him and taught him about their ways of honesty and kindness. We all make mistakes, Ajaz said. What matters is that we learn from them and try to do better. Carlos was grateful for the animals' forgiveness and decided to stay in the forest. He worked hard to earn their trust and help the community. Over time, he became a valued member of the forest family. Hari and his friends were happy to see Carlos change. They knew that their values of honesty, kindness, and forgiveness had made a difference. One day, a great storm hit the forest. The wind howled, and the rain poured down, flooding the animals' homes and washing away their food supplies. The animals were scared and didn't know what to do. Hari and his friends gathered together to come up with a plan. "We need to find shelter and gather as much food as we can before it gets worse," Hari said. Hari, Ravi, Simi, Ajas, and Carlos worked together to help their friends. They found safe places for the animals to stay, and gathered food from the higher grounds where it was still dry. The storm lasted for 3 days, but the animals stayed safe and had enough to eat because they worked together. When the storm finally ended, the forest was a mess. Trees had fallen, and many homes were damaged. The animals were sad but determined to rebuild. "We can do this," Hari said. "If we all work together, we can make the forest beautiful again." The animals worked tirelessly to rebuild their homes and clean up the forest. They planted new trees and flowers, and soon the forest began to heal. Hari used the magical crystal feather to help with the rebuilding. It glowed brightly, giving the animals hope and energy. After weeks of hard work, the forest was restored. The animals decided to have a celebration to mark the occasion. There were games, music, and a big feast. Hari and his friends were proud of what they had accomplished. They knew that their hard work and unity had saved their home. Just as the animals were beginning to relax, a new threat emerged. A group of humans entered the forest, planning to cut down the trees and build houses. The animals were terrified. They didn't know how to stop the humans from destroying their home. Hari knew they had to act fast. He called a meeting with his friends and the other animals to come up with a plan. "We need to show the humans that this forest is our home and that it is important to us," Hari said. "If we can make them understand, maybe they will leave us in peace." The animals decided to gather all the gifts of the forest and present them to the humans as a sign of friendship and to show how precious their home was. Hari and his friends collected fruits, flowers, and the magical crystal feather. They created a beautiful basket and wrote a letter explaining how much the forest meant to them. When the humans arrived the next day, the animals approached them with the basket and the letter. They stood together, showing their unity and determination. The humans were surprised to see the animals so organized and united. They read the letter and looked at the gifts with admiration. One of the humans, a kind woman named Maya, stepped forward. "We had no idea this forest was so important to you," she said. "We will leave and find another place to build our houses. We promise to protect this forest and help you keep it safe." Maya and her friends left the forest, and true to their word, they helped protect it from any future threats. They worked with the animals to create a safe boundary around the forest and made sure no one would harm it. The animals and the humans became friends. They visited each other and shared their knowledge and resources. The forest thrived even more, and the animals felt safe and happy. Hari and his friends were proud of how they had handled the situation. They knew that honesty, kindness, and unity had saved their home once again. Years passed, and Hari grew older. He knew it was time to pass on the crystal feather to a new generation. He called a meeting with his friends and the young animals of the forest. "I have always believed in the values of honesty, kindness, and unity," Hari said. "It is time for you to carry these values forward and protect our home." Hari chose a young hedgehog named Hina, a rabbit named Rina, a squirrel named Sammy, and an owl named Om as the new guardians of the forest. He gave them the crystal feather and shared his wisdom with them. The new guardians promised to uphold the values Hari had taught them. They worked hard to keep the forest safe and continued to build strong friendships with the humans. The forest remained a place of peace and harmony, and the legacy of Hari, the honest little hedgehog, lived on. Before Hari passed away, he wanted to go on one last adventure. His friends, old and new, joined him. They traveled to the edge of the forest, where a hidden valley was said to hold many secrets. They discovered a beautiful waterfall, a hidden cave filled with sparkling gems, and new animal friends who welcomed them warmly. Hari and his friends returned to the forest, their hearts full of joy and memories of their final adventure. Hari knew that his time was coming to an end, but he was at peace. He gathered his friends and the new guardians one last time. Remember, my dear friends, that honesty, kindness, and unity are the keys to a happy and fulfilling life. Protect our forest and each other. Hari passed away peacefully, surrounded by his friends. They held a beautiful ceremony to honor him, and the crystal feather glowed brightly, a symbol of his enduring legacy. The forest animals continued to live by the values Hari had taught them. They faced challenges with courage, solved problems with honesty, and always supported each other with kindness. And so the story of Hari, the honest little hedgehog, was passed down through the generations. It was a story of bravery, friendship, and the power of truth. It inspired all who heard it to live with integrity and compassion. The forest thrived, a testament to the enduring legacy of Hari and his friends. The crystal feather remained a symbol of hope and unity, guiding the animals in their journey through life. And the story, like the forest, continued to grow and flourish, an endless tale of honesty, kindness, and the magic of friendship.